Hello everybody. In this video I will give you a quick introduction about Vue, how actually can help us and what we can do with it. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have my Visual Studio Code already open. It's already pointing to my introduction to Vue website that is actually located. Let me just open the terminal. Already in my Week 2 folder, as you can see over here. And I have my browser on the right. I have the Vue.js application. What is Vue.js? Vue.js is a progressive JavaScript framework. As you saw before, whenever we were creating the application, in this case, the two application in the previous videos, we need to reach about JavaScript in order to get that interactivity that we needed. We created new elements, we move elements around from here to there, and we needed to actually do a lot of validation there. Whenever the application grew a little bit more complex, we need to add more elements in there. And in a real scenario, in a real production environment, we have been moving pretty much all those validation tasks before happening on the servers to do it on the browser. And do handling on that validation or pretty much that interactivity to the browser is relying more in JavaScript. And that's making the application a little more heavyweight and difficult to maintain and difficult to keep record of that. That's why the JavaScript frameworks came in order to help us actually deliver the way that we need it. And that's why developers started using it. So I actually like one video that is right here in the Vue.js, the why Vue.js, and I will do an example similar to the one that I have there, trying to explain a little different concept, and you'll see right away what is helpful to us. So main of those JavaScript frameworks that are most popular in the moment that I'm recording this video are Angular, React, and Vue.js. But as a class, we're going to be focused on Vue.js. And by the way, most of the new products that we're developing here at the college are actually in Vue.js. So that's why it's the one language framework that we are actually talking about. So how this actually works, how it actually will help us. Let's start creating my index file. And let's do a traditional HTML5, sorry for that. HTML, there you go. And we'll do intro to Vue.js. Perfect. Let me hide this a little bit. And before hide it, let's actually open inner live server. There you go. The first thing that I'm going to do is something that we already did before. I'm going to install Tailwind just to have some kind of styling there, and we know that this actually comes in the header, so I will save that there. Perfect. And now I will minimize my head. As you can see, Visual Studio Code give me this arrow here that I can actually hide a little bit the head, and you will see the lines jump from 3 to 11 because these are actually inside there. So because I don't want to focus on that, I just want to hide it a little bit, and I want to focus in the body. So what I'm going to do here in the body, I will create a new empty div with the ID app, and this is where everything is going to happen. Just before here, I will do a script tag without the sourcing. That means that we're going to write the script inside the HTML or JavaScript and the HTML document, sorry. And let's say that we have a constant store name. And we can actually, we need to deliver that right here. Welcome to store name. Or welcome to X. Store name equal, let's call it the store. Let's say that we have something like that. And we want to change that X with this information. We know that through JavaScript, we need to do a document, get element by ID, modify the inner text or the inner HTML with the text that we wanted, and cap that kind of functionality. But we lose that reactivity that sometimes Vue.js can help us or can give us. And I want to show you how this actually works. So first of all, I will install through the CDN. It's not the best way to use it, but it's helpful for us to actually showing purposes. So I will do that as the first script at the end of my body, just before the code that I have it. And now that I have that, in my script tag, I can actually do const app. I need to declare my application is going to be a new Vue element that requires some parameters inside this object. One of those parameters is I need to specify the element, or when I will tie up Vue.js to start doing some work. And the place that I'm going to be doing is in my application, in my ID application. So I will put pound application. That means that I'm tying the element have the ID application. And you have some data elements that we can specify, we can use, and we can return. For example, store name. That could be the store. Having something like that, we can do some kind of, I could say, double curly brackets to render a specific information. And if we put here a store name and save it, you will see that welcome to the store. It's actually working. Let me add some styling really quick in order to make it this a little more appealing, just a little bit more appealing. So let's do the background gray 200. And we have size of the screen. And it's a flex element, flex column. And justify center. Put everything center. And I want to do a padding top of 8. Justify center, I forget this, there you go. So I have this information there. I don't want to have in the middle, just want to have a little bit on the top. That's why I just put in a simple padding. And I can grab this in a h1 element. And let me put this here. And we can say that this h1 element have the class of text for Excel. There you go. And we can do font thin, I believe. Excellent. So welcome to the store. So now we have an element to actually show in a variable that will show it over there. What's pretty cool about Vue is that we can actually play with different values, and we have the interactivity that we need to have in there. So we can have several data elements. I can have another data element called products, for example, and let's make this an array, and let's start populating this array. So I would put ID 0, name, let's put, I don't know, apples, quantity, let's do, I don't know, 5, for example, and then let's create another element. We'll do ID 1, name orange, quantity 3, for example, and the last one called ID 2, name, we can do something, let's change a little bit tortillas. Quantity 4, and let's actually put quantity 0. Tortillas, we don't have those. And let's put a 4-1, just in case. ID 3, name, I don't know, T-bones. I'm being very silly with the names and the products in here, just to showing purposes. And quantity could be something like, I don't know, 9. There you go. So I have my products in there, and I want to actually show those products in my inventory. One pretty cool thing about this is we can actually use a before element. So we can actually specify something like, let's say, Let's do, I want to do a list item, and we're going to do a list. And this list, we can specify a for element. And we're going to say, for each product in products, and we need to specify a key, something that you have. So I will just make it simple. Product.key .id, sorry. I will just print here my product. And I need to close this where it's supposed to be closed. And I believe I have it there. With product in products, with the product ID, I want to print my product, and it is not working. So I eliminate the key there because I want to show that concept later. But right now, the issues that I have is that this doesn't need to be in curly bracket. So I have my list of products very repetitive there. I noticed that the information came to the right instead of putting like a down. And I noticed that my class is actually not to be column, it needs to be call. There you go. And we can do item center here. There you go. Because we changed the direction. And now we can have this. We can do a margin, top of 16 probably. Let's put it right far away. Excellent. So now we can actually have those products listed there. And we can actually do something really cool, like give me just the product name, and I have my list of product. This is pretty neat. We can even stylize this and put it something like background white, if I spell white correctly. There you go. And we do with the screen. Let's do 8/10. That doesn't exist. 10/12. Oh, didn't like it. Why didn't like it? This one, let's do 10/12. There you go. So the parent element, the one that need to be big enough. So then we can do background white. We can do a margin top of 2. So separate each element. We can do a padding of 2. And we can do text center. Let's keep the text to the left. Excellent. And let's increase the margin for 2 to 4 to have a little more separation. And then we can add the shadow LG large, so make it more appealing. And text gray 700. So let's put 800 in there. There you go. So we have the different elements listed there. Of course, I'm putting right now the description of the product right here, but imagine that actually this came from like a database. So we can actually do some kind of table. So we can actually describe not only the product name, I could say my interactivity, print my product dot quantity, then space dash space, and there you go. It show me how many products we have and the product name. It lists it right there. And we can do we can actually have another element to the right. So we can put a little span. Remember, span is something that we can put just in there. That is going to be just out of stock. There you go. And this is going to be class. Going to be a margin left of 4. And we can say text red 500. And we can say probably it's too much, 300. And it's too less. Let's put 4. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And we can do text font bold. There you go. And we can do another statement. Show this only when my product has simple criteria. So we can say if product dot quantity equal to 0, show this. So we know that our tortillas is out of stock. We don't have quantity in there. If we increase the tortilla to have 10, that's going to get deleted. If we remove the orange, that one is the one to get out of stock. So you know how easily we can have some interactivity in order to increase it or decrease it the way that we need it. So let's add another element here. Let's add a couple of buttons. This one will have a plus in there. And let's do a class of background green 400. Okay, rounded. Text white. There you go. Padding in the X is going to be 4, probably 2. And padding on the Y is going to be the 1. Now let's remove that one. And let's do a margin left of 16. There you go, a lot better. And we can actually add let's keep it this like that. And this button will have special interactivity. That interactivity is going to be whenever we click, so we get a specific event. So it's like an event listener. So when this actually happens, we're going to execute one specific function. And in this case, it's going to be the product.quantity plus plus. We're going to increase it. So that means with a simple type, if a type product is supposed to product, there you go. You can see that it gets increased automatically. And I want to show what happened with the orange. So we have that interactivity and we have that orange over there. So we can actually repeat this button. And now it's going to be red. And let's put like a minus in there. And let's remove the margin left and let's do it of 1. And we're going to decrease the quantity. Whoa. Oh, yes. So now we can increase the number and decrease it. And whenever it hits 0, we are out of stock. Perfect. We can even do that this button show it only the minus button if the product quantity is more than 0. So we cannot decrease anymore. So we start increase it, you will see that interactivity there. But if we decrease it, you get automatically out of stock. That's pretty cool. So let's add one last element at the end. And we can do that actually outside of list. And let's put an H1 element text 6 Excel, like say total inventory. Oh, probably it's too much. Let's do font 10. There you go. And let's do 5 here. And we can do total inventory. Something called total inventory that right now we don't have specified. And we can actually have some computed element. And I want to show you how that actually works. So after we finish all data element, we can actually do a computed element. And this computed element will return all several of elements that we can actually specify. And let's create this total inventory as a function. And we are going and I believe we can do something like this and return. Let's do just return 5 in this case. There you go. So we do this as a function, and the only thing it's going to be doing is return something. So what we need to do is pretty much calculate all the quantities of all the products that we have. So let's do that. We're going to do a simple, I believe we can do simple reduce element. Let me check that really quick. Reduce. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. Yes, this is what the reduce going to do is pretty much sum everything that we needed. So we can actually specify. Let me see if I have access here to my this. Return this dot product 0. Sorry. Dot quantity. So let me get if I can get the first element of my product. Is not showing it. So because this needs to be actually a function. That's the issue with the arrows. Sometimes it doesn't have, but we need it. And I have something right in there wrong. Let me check that in a minute. Yes, and I'm having the wrong approach, sorry. This is just a different way to put this thing. So we can do something like this. And this should be working. I can remove this one from here. And something got wrong. So this one was working fine. No, it's not working fine anymore. There you go. I deleted something extra that I was not supposed to be deleted. So we can actually do a function, traditional function like this. And it will have the same output. And probably this is going to be a more simplified. So now what I want to do, and it will allow me to have access to my products. So to see, this is for keeping the scope in a JavaScript to be able to see a specific something specific there. So I can do this dot products dot length, for example. So I have 4 different products. If I create a new one, for let's do I don't know, fajita. I have 2 of those. Oh, this needs to have a comma here. There you go. Fajita is there, and now I had 5 different products. So I'm able to see the products, but this is actually not the calculation that I wanted. The one that I want is a reduce. And it will have the total, and I will have my product by itself. So this is what it's going to be doing, and this is actually another function. return total plus product dot quantity. There you go. And at the end, I believe I need to put comma 0. Now I didn't like it this. Why? Products is that one, yes. Reduce, it's reduced without the that R. There you go. So 5 plus 10 for 9 for 2 is 26. So now we have a function that is a computed element that will look in all my quantities and will fetching my total inventory. So whenever I increase this number or decrease something, you will see that my total inventory get updated too. So let's put everything to 0 to show you how this actually works. And everything's out of stock, all total inventory is 0, and we start adding elements, you will see that that number get updated. And we have a local number per product, and we have a total inventory. So we have a lot of interactivity in one simple application. We were able to actually handle different states per products and in the total, and we were able to use it with a few lines of code. The most of those lines actually the product list is an array, and it's actually we can take it as it came from like a from a database, and you will see that we don't need to handle different products or different elements. One of the cool things that we have missing when we're doing the traditional HTML is whenever we have all these classes that in this case Tailwinds requires, we need, whenever we create a new element, we need to add it or remove those classes depending the case. Right now, we just put it in our template or in our site, and we just describe it with the information. So we can just focus on the things that we can actually interact, and everything gets tied together. As you can see, I was not making any change or making some interaction. When this happened, update this button over here, update this quantity over there. Vue.js was doing that for me. And that's pretty cool. In the next video, we are going to replicate doing our to-do application in Vue using a little bit different method. This is the CDN method using Vue.js. We're going to use a CLI that will help us a lot how to create a Vue.js application. Hope that you like it. Happy coding, everybody.